You know what? The credit I can give them to England is that they started the game well. They were knocking about well. They were pressing. They looked like they're looking to score goals, right? And they got the goal. I think it was like the 30th or the 18th minute. I think it was like
13th,
Jude Bellingham. Good work down the right hand side. I think I can't remember. Walker feeds the ball through to Saka.
Yeah.
Saka deflected cross, and there's Bellingham with the header.
Saka started fizzled out maybe, but both games started really.
Well, this is it, right? So we got the first goal, and I will say Saka, like I said, for 45 minutes, he had their left back on toast. Yeah, he was beating him with every little run, kind of thing, whatever.
Timing,
yes,
of the run
very mature performance,
Jude,
right?
By Jude,
staying wide, but yeah, good header from Jude to get the 1-0 goal, and then it looks like same with the last Euros in the final against Italy. You get the first goal. And for some reason, England decided to sit back and stop doing what they were doing.
England sit back? Never.
This is what I don't understand.
Did you watch the game, dude? Come on, bro.
This is what I don't understand. You've got all these attacking talent in your starting 11 and the squad, and you're choosing to sit back and let Serbia come on to you. Yeah, you're lucky that Mitrovic couldn't hit the target with that, right? Yeah. The only two players for me that really did themselves justice was Bellingham and Mark Guehi. Yeah, I thought Mark Guehi was very solid at the back. Yeah, but I don't understand why you're playing Phil Foden on the left-hand side. We spoke about this before. Phil Foden does not play that side for Man City. If he plays in the front three, he plays on the right-hand side. But his best work is centrally. Yeah, but you've decided to put him on the left-hand side, where he's not going to beat a man to cross the ball. And when he cuts in, he's cutting in on his left foot, which means he's naturally going to be going back towards his own goal. It makes no sense, right? You've got Anthony Gordon, who's more direct, yeah, because remember, Trippier's playing as a left back who's a bona fide right back. So he can't bomb forward like he does on the other side, because he's going to check back on his right foot every time. Yeah. And then this is what I don't. Why England are so lethargic in their play? Like, it's like from the back they punt the ball. They keep punting the ball long, right? When you've got players who are used to receiving the ball short and playing short passes for their clubs, it makes no sense, right? But anyway, they allow Serbia to get back into the game. Serbia could have been level at the break, but they didn't take their chance, right? Second half was even worse, right? Because I don't know what was told to the left back at half time, but he woke up and shackled Saka for the next 25 minutes, right? Before he got subbed, right? You're still offering nothing on the left, but you're still persisting with Phil Foden on the left, right? The only opportunity that England really had was Kane's header, when Bowen comes on and crosses it, and Kane, good save from the
Bowen
keeper.
Lively, even though he was on the pitch for like just shy of 15 minutes.
But to me, listen, you got the 3 points, which is the most important thing. But you expect, right? It was a subpar performance, but you think, right, you get better as the tournament goes on. How wrong was I? But anyway, we'll get to that second game in later. But for me, I thought Southgate should have learned from it, because the Foden thing wasn't working. The Trent experiment wasn't working, right? Now, we said at the beginning of the show, Trent should be playing right back where he can invert, right? He's not a centre midfielder, right? So he struggled in that position, but I don't think that's his fault. I think that's more of Southgate just throwing him in there and saying, and the thing is, when you've got Harry Kane who doesn't run to beat the man, the last defender, to make them runs for the Trent, whatever. It makes no sense. Harry Kane was told obviously to stay up front, right, and not drop deep because Trent's there. And to his credit, he was doing that, but he just wasn't getting any touches of the ball, and you could see his frustration. That's why in the end he started to drop a bit deeper towards the end of the game, and it wasn't. It just doesn't work. It just everyone can see it. It didn't work. You got away with it against Serbia because they weren't clinical enough, but moving forward, you're going to get found out. If you continue with the same lineup and the same style of play, like, I don't understand. Other teams, quality teams, they go for the jugular. You're 1-0 up, get a second, and then you might think about, right, okay, be a bit more pragmatic. How are you going to be pragmatic after 20 minutes, bro? Against Serbia. It makes no sense, yeah? Is it Vlahovic? Yeah. Vlahovic, he had an opportunity as well in the second half. put it over. But
that got tipped over.
Tipped over by
Pickford.
Pickford.
You had the other long range effort that Pickford had to save. There was 2 or 3 times in the second half where Serbia divided.
England looked
There
uncomfortable.
was another very uncomfortable.
This is what
and that's what I'm saying. And it wasn't even like Serbia were moving the ball at a great pace.
And this is where I noticed about Declan Rice. Well, even before, what's his name, McLean said those comments. But in that game, all right, Declan Rice, he played well in terms of cutting out, sensing danger and cutting out any through balls and making tackles. But progressing with the ball, he was not doing it. And whether he can't, I don't know. Spreading the play, struggling to do that. Like, to me, he needs to offer more. When you're being compared to the likes of Rodri, right? You need to offer a lot more, because all you're looking at, you're a defensive guy that's playing it very, very safe. And you can't play it very, very safe all the time. It's like England are playing not to win the tournament, they're playing to progress through the rounds.
Bro, he sets the team up like, they're playing an away leg in Europe.
That's it.
This is a tournament, bro. You gotta hit them, and then you can make
attack is the best form of defense.
Keep people fresh. I understand Jude looking spent because he's played the most recent competitive game out of everyone because he played in the Champions League final. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like. It's just, as I said it. I tried to warn last week before we left. I said, considering the players that they are a hard watch, man. They're just a really hard. You can literally certain times go out of the room, do something, and come back in, and you would have literally missed nothing in terms of what England can do.
Pure sideways and backwards passing, bro. It just makes no sense.
Big up Paddy Power because they're
spot on. Spot on. Sideways, backwards passing, negative, safe football. Southgate is too scared to lose. He's too scared to lose a game. That's what it is. Yeah, he forgot how to win it. He don't want to lose. And to me, that's like a Steve Bruce philosophy. It makes no sense. Yeah, you've got all the attacking talent. Gordon's wasted there. Palmer's wasted. Maino wasted.
I don't understand why taking them.
That's what I'm saying.
But at least copies come on though, because Water's not come on. Water's not come on. As you've just said, Palmer and Gordon haven't gone on. And the thing is about Cole Palmer, Gordon is going to run in behind. He's going to try to take a man on. He's going to
He might even win a penalty.
Cole Palmer is one of the people that, as bad as a team will play, we've seen it on numerous occasions with Chelsea this season. They could fire a ball into them. He has the ability to control it and then smash a shot in. Even if he doesn't score, keeper might make a save. He might get a rebound. It's tournament football, bro. It's not. It's not a club thing, bruv. Like, it's just so frustrating. But then when you say that other people, but he's led us to a final and a semi-final, but they've not won. They've not won though. And a quarter-final against a depleted French team in the last World Cup, not won. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds harsh, but it's just so unconvincing, man.
We're used to receiving the ball short and building up the play from then. So immediately there's a breakdown in styles and communication. So Southgate's obviously, his tactic is to get it up the pitch as soon as possible, away from your goal, and then see what you can do from there. And when there's the way the game's going now, especially in the Premier League, is you build up from the back, progressive passing, and then you hit the opposition when it matters, when you get the opportunity. But it's and this is probably the disconnect between the FA and the Premier League, because if you look at all the other successful teams, the clubs in the league play how the country plays. Yeah, and you saw it with Spain, you saw it with Germany when they were successful, but England, there seems still to be that kind of disconnect between the traditional long ball, winning headers and whatnot, long passes, against the progressive short passes, controlling the play, being comfortable on the ball. Everybody wants the ball. We don't have enough players that are comfortable on the ball at the moment, and that's part of the problem as well. But it was interesting, Kane. Interesting what Sean said about dropping Kane and putting Watkins in, because Watkins, he will play with a point to prove. He stretches the game and he's more direct. Kane likes to drop deep, and he's not the most mobile. So we know Southgate's not going to drop him, not going to make those significant trades. So we're just going to have to stick with it.
But in part, him dropping deep looks worse because of the fact that they're playing so deep.
Well, this is it.
I was saying, because as Sean has said, when strikers don't get the ball, they're going to drop deep because of
they want to be involved in the play. They're frustrated. They're frustrated. But he has to solve the conundrum because it can't continue like this because you'll be going home sooner than expected. But yeah, I mean, listen, credit to Denmark because the equaliser they scored, very good goal. England took the lead obviously with Kane. Again, Walker driving down the right hand side.
Kane needed to score after that missing the first game.
Well, this is it. This is it. The rebound comes to him and he puts it away. But similar to that, the first game, they then allowed Denmark to get back into the game, and it was a very good strike for the equaliser. And then after that, England didn't really offer much. They didn't. I mean, Phil Foden had an effort at one point when he received the ball cut inside and stuff.
Yeah, there were two shots. Yeah, didn't one of them. Obviously, it was the first game he hit the post. No, it was this game.
This game hit the post. Yeah.
So the first half was the one he leant back on and bent it over,
and then
second half
he
hit the post. Then he hit
so, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's not the greatest. The fact that everyone was hyped for this one, you know, everyone getting home for 5 o'clock, the pubs are full. You know what I mean? This is it. And then the performance actually was even worse. They were outplayed. So that's the worrying thing for Southgate because, you know, the first game, all right, you're probably the better team, but you didn't play well, but you got the 3 points. This one, you were outplayed by a Denmark team. You ain't the best. I mean, they're okay, but they're not the best.
What was Kane doing on the goal?
Now this doesn't get spoken about enough. Again, he's dropping deep, right? And what was he attempting? That crossfield pass that he does all the time for Tottenham, that he used to do for Tottenham and all that, whatever. But what a time to give it away. Like, don't get me wrong, the player had still a lot to do, but it starts from Kane trying to do too much and giving the ball away. But had that been any other player, they're getting vilified for it. But Kane escapes the criticism.
Credit to Lineker and them lot, they did chop into him half time. I didn't see all of it, so I was ashamed because it's just strange. Because Trent obviously pulled off again, and I'm thinking, why would you give us time?
Yeah.
You said the thing about you can't get there's not a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips. But also, what we have to realise is that in the first match, when Trent lost the ball, who passed it to him in the first match?
Was it Rice?
Hospital pass. But they never said anything about the pass.
Yeah.
It was on Trent. Then in this game, when Guehi almost
gave it away, I think who gave him the ball? Rice again. And you see when he passed it up for a corner as well. He had a
Rice again. And so it's warranted. You get what I'm saying? Because Trent obviously he lost the ball in the first half, which is what you're going to concentrate on if you didn't run him on the pitch. But when after the game, in terms of the most successful passes, the one, as you and Julius just mentioned, that advanced passes trying to get it into people into space, it was Trent.
Right.
Trent.
The only one.
Stats, even people that don't even like him were saying that, we've said whatever about him, but look, he's the one that was trying to progress the team. And they just got worse after he came off. It was bad after he came off, it got worse. But as we said, Watkins running in behind. Watkins almost scored.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? But Dave, there's just a lot there that needs sorting. And I'm not sure they've got enough games to get it right, man. And this is a very open tournament. There's no one that is head and shoulders above anyone.